MSSD technology. It reimagines the 1970s Moodstone ring to define a new wearable tech category. Tony?
Thank you, Stan. Good evening, everyone. I'm grateful for this opportunity to tell you about what I think is the coolest, most innovative way yet to connect to the internet. We've combined the iconic 1970s mood ring with today's biosensor, wireless, and mobile apps technology. Our emotion mood sharing jewelry interfaces to smartphones and similar devices, and by doing so, accesses an entire new ecosystem of emotionally aware apps. One of my favorite emotive apps is a music player which adjusts and changes the playlist order based on how I'm feeling. Everyone knows that music can affect our mood. And imagine that I'm wearing a mood sharing ring and it tells my music player that my mood has dipped. And in response, the player automatically adjusts the playlist to a series of more upbeat, more energetic sounds or songs. Pretty cool, right? So our first set of emotion mood sharing ring designs are called Aquarius. A $10,000 grant would go a long way to help us reduce the size of the electronics that are required to fit inside the chassis of the mood sharing rings themselves.
Okay, questions, judges?
Do I get extra points because the phone rang?
So I think in this age of information overload, being able to express ourselves and share how we're feeling is more important than ever. My question is, right now you're in the prototype stage. What is your roadmap and what is your timeline to getting this product to market?
Okay, so we actually created a functional prototype in a bracelet form factor. We were able to do that because we could leverage more off-the-shelf components. Unfortunately, a ring is a much smaller platform, and we actually had to do some new design, and we've worked on that for about the last 12 months. We're out in the RFQ process, and we're awaiting to get quotes back on our new designs. And after that, we'll be hopefully moving forward with beta and then production units over the next really 12 to 18 months.
I'm very impressed with the idea of the product, though I am a little worried that that music thing could get me into trouble depending on how I was feeling. The form factor is really fascinating to me that you kind of landed on Ring as sort of the go-to-market right now. Was that informed by sort of who you think your target customer is likely to be? Are there sizing issues? Walk me through sort of what the design process was like for you guys and why you landed where you did.
Okay, so we started with the bracelet, and I explained that because it was easier to get some of the electronics to fit into that form factor. But we've been on Facebook and we've been listening to social media input, and it became pretty clear early on in the process that women wanted to have a ring. And so we went back to the drawing board, and now we're going to actually pursue the ring form factor. So it's really informed by social media input.
Great. So you kind of articulated. So your target market in your mind right now is gender specific. It is more female oriented.
It's women to get going out the door, and it's in that age range that's 19 to 35. What we found is that if we would start with an older generation of women, the kids might not wear it, but any mother knows that if their daughter likes something, they're probably going to try it too. So that's probably the safest demographic for us to target.
One more question, please, judges.
Yeah, are there any, besides the obvious sociological and also psychology benefits to having something that monitors someone's health, how do you guys monitor or track the data that's being accumulated through the wearable device?
So one of the things that we plan to do is anonymously look at that kind of data and then actually make it available so that you could do things like predictive advertising, more customized ads, and that kind of thing. And obviously that's all going to be covered by privacy and protection understanding on the part of the users. But there's a benefit to collecting that data, sanitizing it, and then making it available to others to be able to better service the community.
Tony, thank you. Tony Clark, Two Do's Incorporated. Our next presenter is Megan Bell with Margins Wine, a mid-20s female winemaker in her first year of business who makes unique wines from sustainably farmed grapes using vineyards, varietals, and regions that are underrepresented or in winemaking terms.
First the chocolate and now the wine.
We didn't have a specific rule preventing it, so here we are. Megan Bell, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Bell, the creator, winemaker, grape trucker, and everything else from Margins Wine. I completed the winemaking program at UC Davis, and after spent the next couple years traveling around the world learning how to make wine. One thing I noticed was that everywhere I went, I was seeing only the same 5 or so grape varietals, even though in school I learned that there are thousands. So where are they? People are missing out on some seriously amazing wines. After noticing this hole in the market, my gears began to turn. Margins Wine seeks to fill this gap by creating unique wines from vineyards, regions, and varietals that are lesser known or on the margins. I started my business last year with money from a Kickstarter campaign. Local artists and friends came together to help make my label art and design, videography, and original music for the campaign a success. Since then, I've joined a community of local food artisans who share a common goal of sustainable food and drink. One of the major goals of Margins Wine is to help shift the view of wine from a luxury product to what it actually is, an agricultural product. The local food movement here is strong, and it is only a matter of time before consumers apply the same discretion they use when purchasing sustainable produce to their wine buying decisions as well. The first year of a winemaking business like mine is notoriously difficult because all the major costs, the grapes themselves, bottling, are all due before the first wine has even hit the market.
Do you want to pour more wine before they ask their question?
This was a delicious presentation. What do you plan on doing with the $10,000?
So this $10,000 will mainly go toward just grape costs this year. I'd like to expand production by at least 1.5, hopefully double. And grapes in California range anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 per ton. Last year I made 3 tons. This year I'd like to do at least 5.
And what does that equate into bottles?
Each ton of grapes is about 2 barrels of wine. 2 barrels of wine is 600 bottles of wine, approximately.
So a couple of questions. The first is you're working on the margins, so varietals of wine that maybe most people don't know about. Could you tell us a little bit about this particular wine and the grapes that feed into it?
Yes, so this is a Chenin Blanc from the Clarksburg appellation. Probably most of you have never heard of either of those places. Chenin Blanc is a white grape varietal grown in the Loire Valley of France. That's mid-western France. Definitely classic out there. And Clarksburg is the area of California that grows the most acreage of Chenin Blanc. And it is on the Delta, mainly on the Sacramento River, about 20 miles south of Sacramento.
So part of people who drink and follow wine, it's about geeking out about the story behind the wine. And as you said, you want to shift from a perception of wine as a luxury product to an agricultural product. But the everyday uneducated wine drinker might not be as much into the hobby of wine and its origins. How will you plan on educating and inspiring that audience?
Absolutely. I actually think that just the barrier itself is already ahead of me on this. The same way that people were buying their produce at Costco 15 years ago and now are going specifically to smaller specialty grocery stores to purchase local fresh produce, those same people are already on this train of wanting to find wines that are mostly naturally made from small producers that aren't using factory methods and are struggling to survive in the same way that those small farmers are. And I think that story is inspirational in itself.
I imagine that there are probably more opportunities to feature small producers than you can accommodate right now. How do you evaluate what's a great fit for you guys as you're looking in the market at all the different types of varietals that you could, feature and bottle and bring out?
So a long-term goal would be to do 25 or 50 different varietals. Starting out, I'm just choosing things that I'm really passionate about. I worked in the Loire in France, and that's when I fell in love with Chenin Blanc. So I knew that that was the first wine that I wanted to make when I was here and starting my own business.
Okay, we're out of time. Megan Bell from Margins Wine. Thank you. You didn't know when you came here tonight you'd be seeing such a wide range of stories. Our next presenter is Judy Townsend. The company is Mannequin Madness. Mannequin Madness is a green business and the only mannequin liquidator in the Bay Area. They recycle mannequins for national retailers and sell used mannequins, like that one, in their Oakland warehouse to a wide range of customers. Judy Townsend.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Judy, also known as the Mannequin Lady. The apparel industry is second only to the oil industry in producing environmental waste, but my company is actively helping to reduce some of that waste. When retail chains close or remodel stores, they frequently throw their unwanted mannequins into the trash. But the mannequins are made out of materials that don't biodegrade, like fiberglass, styrofoam, metal, so they really shouldn't be going to landfills. In 2003, we started providing retailers with a green alternative. We would take their unwanted mannequins and we would find new homes for them and not charge the stores at all. Initially, we did this locally, and we recycled 100,000 pounds of mannequins a year. Now we recycle on a national level, and we recycle 100,000 pounds a month. Needless to say, we found a gap in the market. We sell these used mannequins on our website to a wide variety of customers all over the U.S. and Canada. Small retailers, fashion students, museums, nonprofits are just a few of the people that we work with. Even broken mannequins are turned into DIY projects like this, or displays at Burning Man and Halloween. Initially, our business was primarily online, and so were all of our marketing efforts. But last year, we moved to a warehouse with a big storefront, and we have a large amount of walk-in customers now. So we want to diversify our marketing efforts and have an eye-catching outdoor billboard campaign with mannequins on it to bring attention to where we are and what we do.
That is 90 seconds. All right, judges, your questions.
Oh, so this is very fun. Tell me, did you always know you wanted to have a brick and mortar presence? Was it something that came to you based on clients' needs? How did you decide the location for the first one?
Well, we had 3 50-foot trucks of mannequins from American Apparel sent to us, and I was almost forced to move into another location. So it was a combination of opportunity, and then we thought once we had a storefront, it would give more opportunities for people to find us. We could use our warehouse to actually have video shoots and things like that. So it was kind of on the radar, but we got pushed.
Gotcha. Good.
In my family, filled with knitters and crocheters and fashion designers, all of my aunties and grandmas ask me, can you go on the internets and find me a mannequin?
And you didn't find me?
And so that's kind of my question is, a lot of the perceived target audience may not be actively on the internet. So I think it's a great idea to reach out kind of with the brick and mortar space. Tell me a little bit more about this billboard campaign and how the money will be used to reach out to new audiences or people that haven't yet discovered you.
Well, we have a great location. It's right off the freeway, and we thought it'd be great to have a sign by the freeway to say, next exit, Mannequin Madness, or like I said, have mannequins on the billboards, because a lot of people say, wow, we didn't know you were here. And when they come, they spend lots of money. So at first we thought we would have the billboard off of the freeway, but after talking to someone from a billboard company, we might have it moved to different locations in the Bay Area where our target audience might be.
Sustainability is really a hot topic within the fashion industry, and with the reuse of mannequins, I think that's a really brilliant idea. How are you guys, one, making revenues, and then two, are you engaging with some of the larger corporations that would be able to really use your services because you would be adding to their sustainability factor?
We worked with almost every major retail chain in the country. They weren't so much concerned about being environmentally friendly, but the fact that we would recycle their mannequins for free and they didn't have to worry about waste disposal fees, they jumped onto the bandwagon pretty quickly. And then, what was the other part of your question?
Revenues.
Oh, revenues. Well, we get our inventory for free. That makes it a lot easier to make a profit when your inventory is for free. Granted, we certainly have to pay for the cost of labor to get the mannequins to us and to house them, but essentially I get free inventory that's what I resell.
Room for one more quick question, judges.
Yeah, just curious, on that question, how many or what's the percentage in general of mannequins that you recycle that you can't resell? Is there high?
We don't throw anything away. Even limbs get used, as I said, for Burning Man or Halloween or something like that. We are zero waste.
Awesome.
All right, Judy, thank you. Judy Townsend,
thank you.
Mannequin Madness. Our next presenter is Jabal Engelhard with Escape Artist. Escape Artist serves fire safety needs in the San Francisco Bay Area through quality and knowledgeable inspections, preventative maintenance, and repair services for fire escapes and their drop ladders. Jabal Engelhard.
Hey, thanks everyone. All right, so I'm Jabal, a San Francisco native and the owner of Escape Artist. We provide a cool niche service in San Francisco Bay Area. It is fire escape inspection. We do testing, certification, and repairs. Oops. We propose to use the grant money to modernize and make our business more green, utilizing some measures. First, we will hire an app developer. We want to incorporate this new app and on its new tablet that will contain the field reports that we fill out each day when we go to the services, and thereby cutting back on paper. We typically inspect about we typically go to 6 to 10 buildings a day and inspect these fire escapes, and we keep 3 years of paper history on file. Second, the app will also help route our teams through the city, so effectively we'll be saving fuel on driving time as well. We can also add and remove jobs automatically, and our teams can respond in real time. Third, we currently fill out these field reports by hand. It's pretty laborious, and some people have doctors' handwriting, so that's challenging. But using the new app, our teams will complete an electronic field report, and that will automatically upload to our inspection certificate template, and that will, for proofreading by our office admin.
Okay, that's 90 seconds.
Thank you.
So.
Wow, that was fast.
Well, it's better than a gong, you have to admit. All right,
Yeah.
Judges, your turn.
Tell me about, this market has existed forever, and it will exist for a long time. How will your business, or how will the market grow, and how will you grow? What's your plan there?
Growth. People, I don't think architects are installing fire escapes on buildings these days, so I realize I'm not in a growth market. We're more trying to service the existing fire escapes the best way we can. And the property owners, which I didn't quite get to, have to post last dates of inspection for fire safety services. So if we can provide that service to them faster, our last date of inspection, they post these in the lobbies of their buildings nowadays for new city regulations.
And the second question, your competitors, do they have an electronic system or a tablet system, or are they kind of doing it on paper?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know, but we're looking to modernize. Escape artists, 7-8 years ago, we were the first ones with a website when websites became cool, 10 years ago. Our competitors have been around longer. I'm surprised they didn't have that first.
I really appreciated how you led with sort of the need and the use of funds, of how you activate the $10,000, and there's this beautiful double impact result of what you're talking about, both the green impact and then also the efficiencies of scale and the ability to hopefully serve more customers through this type of process. That assumes that maybe there is an opportunity to activate more customers. Is there a funnel of customers that you'd want to be able to realize by having this faster, more systematized way to do inspections in the first place?
Yeah. A lot of us service vendors, we put stickers on the drop ladder, which is on the lowest level. So I see a lot of buildings without stickers. I see fire escapes that aren't being serviced by anyone. So I'm hoping that this system will allow us to save that time, and even the guys on this tablet could enter an address. Hey, we don't think this is being serviced. We can go to our City Hall records, look up that address, mail them a brochure, something of that nature. It'll speed up my time. I'm sometimes a worker bee, so if this is all happening faster and we can serve more customers, get more people into compliance.
Absolutely. I love the smart lead, Jen. That's great.
Thank you.
One more question, please.
Yeah, so piggyback off of Vincent's question. So as far as growth, are you just working within San Francisco? Or are you working with different metropolitans within California or even nationally?
Gosh, when I first bought Escape Artists, I did not want to cross the bridges. To be green, crazy as that sounds. It takes longer now, as everyone knows, to cross the bridge. So, yeah, we're serving Oakland, the North Bay, South Bay. We do not have plans to expand. It makes sense to keep it regional and serve our people the best here.
Jabal Engelhardt, Escape Artist.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I believe we've reached our final entrant tonight. The final pitch will come from Kimberly Harris with Fariella, I'm hearing beeping, Fariella Ice Pops. Fariella Ice Pops provides, there she is, low sugar, additive-free, vegan specialty ice pops. Not on a stick, I'm told. Handcrafted with fresh fruit and veggies, simply juiced, and then fresh frozen. Kimberly.
Thank you.
What's your favorite?
Lavender lemon.
Lavender lemon it is. Thank you.
The green one.
This is the moment where my 3-year-old granddaughter, when you ask her what flavor, says, I want red.
There is a little tear if you wanted to try.
It's called the Green Monster with a fairy on the corner.
And Dragonfly Floyd's on there too. Okay. So have you ever wanted a popsicle that was not only a healthy treat, but made with real food with freshly juiced fruit and veggies? How about no stabilizers, no dyes, and less than 5 grams of sugar? Well, Fariella Ice Pops is what you're looking for. I started juicing for my mom to prolong her life during her battle with breast cancer, and at that time I became inspired to replace the Otter Pops that my kids were going crazy for. If you don't know what an Otter Pop is, it's a popsicle not on a stick, and it's filled with sugars and dyes. So I started making my own with my mom's juices, and soon moms were asking for them. People going through chemotherapy were asking for them, and soon we were delivering them. In our first year, we started selling at the local farmers market, and we landed on the shelf at Whole Foods here in San Francisco. In our second year, we were in 15 stores, and I won the small producer grant through Whole Foods. Now in our third year, we're in 27 locations, we're vegan certified, and we landed a distributor to help us reach more locations. This grant will help us reduce our costs by 40% by having the capital to purchase pallets of produce instead of cases, and help us launch our 2 new coconut-based flavors in April to Whole Foods. This will fulfill my dream to continue my mom's legacy providing nutritional snacks to the community, schools, and hospitals. Thank you.
You already took a bite, right?
Yeah.
You get to go first.
As a San Francisco juicer, shall we say, the idea of having something like that in an ice pop form is amazing. I guess my question really comes down to more of the logistics. You're doing really well so far. Like you said, you've been working with Whole Foods. And specifically, how will the money help get you to the next stage? And what is kind of the next major milestone for you?
Okay, so for the next stage, the grant is going to help us because right now we're just buying cases for our orders. And as you know, anytime you buy larger quantities, you can make more product. So since we're in 27 locations, we do have the distributor, and we can reach 100 more stores, but we have to also be able to provide a free fill. So the distributor can go to the stores and offer them a free fill of our product. So for us to be able to get more produce, to make more product, we'll be able to offer the free fills to the distributor. And our next milestone is obviously to get to more stores, and in a couple years to have our own facility, our own kitchen, and have a few employees.
The flavors are just delightful, guys. I have the lavender one in front of me. If you could smell this, you would just be. Anyway, how are you doing your user testing to find like what next flavors you want to bring to market? Because you do have unique opportunities in front of you here.
So which flavors? How did I come up with my flavors? So I test them on the kids. And I had, and doing my demos, I do my own demos in the stores. And I have a lot of people that always are asking me, do you have a chocolate one? And a lot of the kids want the purple one. They want a blueberry one. And I noticed that at the farmer's market too. So I came up with a cocoa, so it's going to be chocolate, and then the blueberry pops. And the kids love them, and the adults, so.
We should do an adult one with Margins wine, I think.
Yeah. You know how many times I've heard that? All the time. Well, the wine. Hey, that could be a possibility.
I'm a diehard juicer, so this is something that I love, and it's very good, by the way. So you mentioned that you plan on having a contract with Whole Foods. What are other retail distributors that you plan on working with?
We would love to work with Molly Stone's, the Nugget, and actually my dream right now is to be in the schools. And I'm actually working with a nutritionist with the Oakland Unified School District. And I have a lady at John Muir, a nutritionist, and I want to get into the hospitals too. So that's really, the schools is kind of my next big step. But the distributor we have has a bunch of natural food stores all the way out to Reno and Fresno in Northern California.
Now, I'm really curious, as simple of an idea as this is, I haven't seen any competitors to this, but are you familiar with any competitors in this space?
Am I what? Excuse me?
Familiar with any competitors within this space?
You mean as in what I'm doing?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No. Because a lot of the companies, a lot of the popsicles, if you look at the boxes, because when I'm doing my demos, I'm always checking out the boxes, the popsicles. A lot of people use stabilizers,
You can go ahead and finish your
concentrates,
sentence.
and they don't use freshly squeezed produce. I think I'm the only one, because everyone uses concentrates.
Kimberly Harris from Ferriella.
Thank you.
All right. I think we all owe a great debt of thanks to all of our contestants tonight. These are remarkable stories. We'll be back in a few moments with our grand prize winner. Judges, time to stop eating, time to stop drinking wine, time to retire to the judging area. And we'd like you to go to the deliberation room now and determine the recipient of our $10,000 small business grant. Now, while the judges are doing their incredibly hard work, because I think I'm kind of vote for a 10-way tie myself, our team is going to pass out a quick survey for the audience tonight. We'd like you to give us a little feedback here. And while you're doing that, do you have your forms? Okay, great. You know, the great thing for me as a storyteller is to have heard 10 great stories tonight. And, you know, it's a reminder and we're really fortunate at KCBS to be in the business of telling stories, that, you know, we're surrounded by these things. We're surrounded by incredibly creative, hardworking